students appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know, most times students look at teachers as being somebody that's different, not even a person, but something different from a person.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can be there and you can laugh and you can joke with students, they develop a different bond with you
Yes.
because you're a real person. And you be, well, I didn't realize that, Rob.
Yeah, that's my undercover. You know how you got Clark Kent and you got Superman. So
yeah. You're the undercover Clark Kent.
Yes.
Okay.
And the kids enjoy it. We entertain the school about 3 times a year,
Okay.
and it's wonderful to see students who are quiet, sit in the classroom and are very quiet. They get into my club, and then the other students get to see them just come out of a shell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's improv. So
Yeah.
I encourage them to do what they want to do. Let me see what you have. They bring information to me, and for me to come back and be a comedian, that was me coming out of my shell as well. Being able to go to these other countries and see the fervor and the passion that other people have to want to be who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to have the opportunity to try new things and not be judged.
Right.
And so I said, let me go and try the things that I want. I'm doing a little drawing. I'm doing all kinds of things that I feel will make me more well-rounded. I meet new people that way. And being a teacher and bringing that back into the classroom, I tell the students, you can do, look, this is what I did.
Mm-hmm.
Here I am. You can do this too. And we do a lot of presentations. Our school is a PBL school, so project-based learning.
Project-based learning.
Mm-hmm. So we have to do twice a year. We do a big production, and we do it up. Especially when it's science or social studies, it's on, and the community comes in. They love it. This year, I'm very proud of the students. It was hunger.
Mm-hmm.
So teaching them that hunger is not, you cannot look at somebody and tell that they are suffering from the effects of hunger. It's not just that I didn't eat breakfast this morning. It's that I don't have any breakfast to eat. There's nothing in my refrigerator, but I have a house.
Mm-hmm.
I have a car. Where can I go to get the nutrition that I need? And so the students learn that you can help the community and do different things. They've brought in canned and dry goods, 49 pounds of canned and dry goods to the shelter. We have a hydroponics farm that partners with our school as well. And so he wants to give fresh. They learned that you can also grow indoors. Yes, you can grow vegetables and herbs indoors and be able to also eat that way. And so I'm trying to get the partnership between the pantry and the hydroponics farm together, and the kids are fostering that. Kids, it's all coming from the kids.
And I'm just sitting there smiling because I came from around in Nashville. I was in a project-based learning school.
Okay.
So we were doing, so that was STEM when it first came into being. It was a big STEM push. Now I was in a project-based learning school, and back in the early 2000s, we had an optic blast. So our project learning thing was telling why the optic blast was, and the beginning of it, and research, and at the end we had the big production about we actually built the wind and everything.
Wow.
It was great. So that was just fun because that's the school I was in. I was in a project-based learning school, and we was at STEM, and I was Hattie Cotton Elementary School. Let's have a shout out to Miss Eleanor Mitchell, which was my principal at that time. And we was at project-based learning, and we did the Arctic Blast. And that was our project base. And, if you do project base, you teach about it, and at the end, you always have a big production. And our big production was, we actually did a model of the Earth, and we did actually why those winds come to the Arctic Blast, and Albania, and all those type of winds. I can remember it because the kids remember it, and and that's what we got to get back to do, because kids got to have a hands-on. And when you do project learning, it helps all those different types of learners.
Right.
Because you're doing all these different types of things, and I can remember that, and that's a great thing that we need to do. And I'm just sitting there smiling because I know exactly what she's talking about, and also at that same school that I was at, we had Disney, and we did a play at the end of the year. We did Snow White and several doors. They had Disney has a program in which they're coming to your elementary school, and they do a full-fledged production of one of their princesses, like Snow White or Sleeping Beauty. And we did that, and we have, and the kids do everything. They make the stages, they do the singing, they do everything, and it's a year-long thing. I had a good time in Nashville. I had a good time in Nashville, so I know exactly what she's talking about. And those type of schools, we really need that type of school in this area somewhere.
Mr. Joshua, as you were talking, I was thinking that our children miss out on a lot of hands-on stuff because we don't have that. And I remember, I keep going back to when I went out to Miller. You would think that I did a whole lot when I was there. I guess I did. But when we went to teaming, and we had the core teachers in teaming: math, science, English, social studies. And we had one team that was, the science teacher was teaching about rockets, and the kids would put so much water in a plastic bottle, those are 2-liter bottles, 1-liter bottle, and shoot them up in the air. Put air pressure in it, see how far it go up in the air. Well, the math students would have to figure out how high they would go. They did a project because they ended up going to NASA, to the Space Center, and the social studies teacher was talking about the geography, the route, and all this kind of thing. The English teacher was making sure that your findings was proper and all, and they just tied it all in together. And the kids really enjoyed it. Yeah, this was an 8th grade class that was doing this, and I had some 7th graders out there on lunch, and they saw it. And they were just so excited watching this. And said, "Listen, who's that teacher? I want him next year."
Yeah.
And see, and that's the kind of excitement that you want children to have about school. They see things that they want, and they want parts of it.
Right.
So I think a lot of that stuff, and we can work on this. We get our schools back here in the area. We can work on doing some things like that.
Once you let teachers teach and take all that red tape out of it, it is great. See, teaching, the reason people don't teach now, it's not because they don't want to teach, it's because they don't want all the red tape.
Right.
They want to go to the classroom and they want to help students. They don't want to go in and do 50 applications and checklists on this and do all this. When I first started teaching YouTube and stuff, we didn't do all that.
No.
You went in and taught.
Yeah.
You had to worry about all. You went in and taught school. And you do whatever you did to teach that child.
And you see, when you can teach a child something that they can do and use in everyday life, they have a better appreciation for it.
Right.
I know when I was teaching business math, I had a young lady come to me after she'd gone off to college and was saying that I really wish that I had taken business math. She didn't take the business math because she was taking either calculus or trig. And she said, I really wish I had taken business math because I didn't even know how to write a check when I went off to college. I didn't know how to do my income tax. And see, all of that was taught in business math. And, and I said, well, Karen, she said, why You know who the Karen is now. You know, she said, I had an account, but my dad wouldn't let me write a check, you know. But you see, in that business math class, that, you know, writing checks, reconciling bank statements, and doing your income taxes. I had a young lady that went home and did her parents' taxes and brought them back, and I checked them because I do a lot of income taxes. And she checked it. I checked it for her, and I told her, this is perfect, this is right. And she took it and was going to mail it, and her mom, no, I don't trust you. And she went and had her husband to take it to H&R Block. And I think at this time, it was like $75 to do a tax return. And it was a simple one. And he paid $75 to do the tax return that her daughter had already done. Got the same exact numbers, you know. So children want to have things like that in the classroom that they can take outside the classroom and make happen for them. So those are the kinds of things that we need in our school. And we can, I think, attract, our children will come in and sit and pay attention and not be looking at for other stuff in the classroom when we can do those kinds of things. So it's good. And the comedy and stuff, I'm really
we're gonna get to tell a joke for it. You can do one of her stand-ups.
Yeah.
What we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
And we're gonna come back with midday conversation. We're gonna wrap it up, and so we're gonna be right back with midday conversation.